defending champ as well, so he's looking pretty solid here. Some very quick racers in this one, and we're going to go back a little bit. Rusty Bell, one of the track announcers here, also is going to be playing a serious role here. We're going to take a look at, as we go through the rest of the Toyota starting grid, we've got a little story action as well. That's back in the pack in some of them, but Steve Cook qualified on pole here, the defending champion. We're going to check in and learn about him.
We've seen it 1,000 times. When it comes to motorsports, you have to have a combination of two things: teamwork and horsepower. And in the case of this husband and wife team, Kim and Steve Cook, they have a great deal of both going on. Kim, how'd you get involved so much with Steve's auto racing?
Steve decided he wanted to go racing, and I said I'd be glad to help him as long as he helped me with my hobby.
And your hobby is?
Competitive dressage riding.
Horses, huh?
Horses.
Steve, what do you do with the horses?
Oh, I do the groom work. I drive the trailer, help load. I shovel the remains of the horses.
That doesn't sound like a very fair deal here. She's just turning a wrench.
No, I'm getting the better deal here. This is more time consuming. We're here for a long time, and there's a lot of stuff she has to keep on top of. Everything logistically, tires, how many cycles, where we are, everybody else's grid position. It's a big deal.
You can tell that they really take teamwork very seriously. Not only do they love the horses and the auto racing, but also their favorite NHL team, the San Jose Sharks.
Well, she obviously turns a mean wrench because not only is he the defending champion, as we pointed out, he's on pole, and he qualified. His best lap was 1:38.1. The closest anybody else got was a 1:38.5. 4/10 clear is Steve Cook from the rest of the field. But Mumford, Olson, Wright, Grant, that's your top five. And there's your onboard. That is Joe Tenney. Little problem in qualifying. We mentioned the rain caught some people out here. He starts 17th, but that means the onboard camera ought to be giving us some exceptional views. In the field right now, working up into turn one, they get to start in that long backstretch. And these cars generally provide some exceptional racing. They are very serious race cars, David. A little light on power, but that's by design. We build our way up to GT1 eventually, but they race hard, and they're very exciting.
Some good-looking cars there. The times, the grid times are very close together. This field is not spread out very much, so we look for some very competitive racing. Of course, with these fenders on, these cars are going to lean on each other. They've all been to the Dorsey Schrader School of Advanced Driving. We're on board now with Joe Tenney, who we spoke to earlier on at the top of the show. This is Joe's first runoff. He's right in the middle of the pack, so he's going to be surrounded by excitement.
Yes, it's sort of a lesson under fire here for that guy. Working through the keyhole now. At this point, Dorsey, they're setting up for the start. What are you planning when you're that far back, about mid-pack?
Well, you know, you try to get some kind of a run going. You know, you'd like to get to the inside if you can, if there's any way to get over to the inside right away so you can take advantage of the brake zone down there. I ran 3 years in this class. This is very competitive racing.
All right, let's watch for the big move, the green flag. You can't go till you see green, but then everybody can go. The track, there it is. You can always tell. And, oh, one of the cars, that was the third qualifier, Olson, I think. His car just laid down on him, and he got swamped. Richard Grant, Tom Blaney on the hammer.
Oh, a lot of banging going on there in the middle of the field. Wow, that's not getting off to a good start. We haven't got to turn one yet.
Look at that move by Mumford, the red machine, out and around your top qualifier. And Peter Mumford of the Perfection Motorsports, what a go he went. We're on board right now with Tenney back in the pack. But Steve Cook, the pole qualifier, got surprised by Mumford as the rest of the field streams through. And 9, Wilson Wright, I think, jumped to third. He's driving that, you'll see it, the orange Nissan. And look at Tenney. He is in the midst of an absolute brouhaha.
Big squeak by Mark Ward there.
Everybody side by side still. You know, all the way, this is all the way back to 12, 15 plays up front there. The 55 car now starting to stretch some legs.
Boy, Peter Mumford really got, and the pole qualifier loose, off. And tires. He got it all wrong, and that was turning into the carousel area. That's the turn 13 exit is where he got crossed up big.
Boy, Steve Cook took a wild ride there. He got off to the inside, jumped over the curb. You know, just things hooked back across the racetrack. He's going to get going again. But I would think his day will probably be done. That looks like a lot of damage to his front end. Yeah, look at the right front wheel.
Certainly too much damage.
Here's a replay. Take a look at him. Here he comes in. He's loose on the entry.
Oh, he just comes loose.
In, gets on the grass, hits the curb, jumps the curb. Car comes off the ground, snaps viciously to the right. Through the gravel trap he goes. That didn't slow him up because he didn't get enough of it. And bam, here comes the tire wall.
Part of the problem is if he does get going and stays out on track, it looked like the opening of the radiator was absolutely closed up and problems. Let's go down to Bob Gerald, who's standing by with his wife.
Well, Kim, this is not how you wanted this deal to start. Have you had radio communication with Steve?
Yeah, he's fine. He's upset. No explanation.
How disappointing is this going to be now for your weekend? You've come all the way here to get this done. Now it looks like it's right out the window.
It's very disappointing. They worked really hard. They only did what they had to do to qualify this year to come, and worked as hard as they could to get here and make the engine competitive, and it is, and it was.
Well, we're sorry to see your day end this way. Kim Cook a little bit distraught.
Yeah, Bobby, and we're getting a good shot of the car right now, and there is some serious. I mean, it could possibly continue, but I mean, the brake ducting on that right front corner is gone. The radiator is all closed up. Very tough. So Mumford.
Of course, they've come a long way. I mean, they've come from Santa Clara, California, so this is a long trip. But he did just absolutely lose control as it went through that turn 13, and it's a tricky corner.
Let's go back and take another look at the start, and there were some rather intense moves made, and a great start as well. I mean, that's 55 Mumford. Here we go, on board with Tenney, and look at that guy. That's 27.
What in the world is he going? I'm sure there'll be a penalty call on that if they take a look at one of our replays here, because you're not supposed to get a pass until you get to the start-finish.
Here's some other action that occurred.
Oh, little Robin got
sideways, boom.
Right in front of everybody. It's going to stack these three guys up behind. They're going to knock each other around a little bit.
That's 24 Tom Blaney. That was a remarkable recovery for his dead sideways. I mean, he was dead flat sideways and managed to still continue. But look at number 9 right now, Wilson Wright. That is the orange Nissan, and he is all over the leader, Peter Mumford, in the Perfection Motorsports Nissan. These two having a great run, and they're starting to draw away just a little bit at this stage.
A couple 200 SXs down the back straightaway right there. It looks like the front one, the 55 car, has more motor because they came off that corner pretty equally right together, and in the 9 car is not quite so quick.
Let's go back down to Bobby Gerald, who is standing by now with Steve Cook. Bob?
Well, Steve right now just consoling with his wife, Kim, and he's had a chance to take a look at the damage. Steve, what happened?
Well, it was greasy in turn 7 from the oil, and Pete got by, and I was following him pretty good, and we came up into 13, and I turned, and it felt like I cut a tire down or something because it just didn't turn. Well, it turned, it rotated in the back and jumped the curb, and then went all the way across the track and clouded the tire wall pretty good out there.
Well, we're sorry to see you out of this one, man. You be back next year? Probably. Probably. He says a little frustrated right now, I think.
That's a good save there by the 9.
Did you see what, that Wilson Wright had a bit of luck going for him there. Boy, that was close.
Well, when you say, you know, I heard him say, yeah, probably. He's frustrated now. Look at, he's talking to him. He's explaining what happened. I don't think race car drivers can have a conversation without moving their hands. You know, that's explaining everything worked.
You can't have a conversation without explaining what went wrong time and time and time again. And every time it gets more dangerous and worse.
Personal experience.
And more everybody else's fault.
Of course, and more exciting and everything. Meanwhile, Mumford continues to lead. Wilson Wright, who's already witnessed his share of excitement at this stage, continues to run second spot. And number 88, another good story here, John Teeby out of Monterey, California, in the IEM Racing Datsun 510. Of course, you know a bit about 510s. He started 10th. He's 3rd.
He's doing a great job. I ran a 510 and a 610. They're fun little cars. You know, they're independent suspension cars, and for their time, for their day, they were quite advanced. Quite a good car.
Very successful in the under 2-liter division of Trans Am way back in the early 70s.
And there he is. Coming. He's right up there now with the lead guys.
You know, he's got a Rebello motor in that, and that guy, that company, Rebello, based out of Colorado, is known for building very strong Datsun motors.
These are good motors in those cars. That's a little 4-cylinder. You could get a 1600, 1800, 2-liter version, but I think this class you're limited to the 1600 version.
And of course, it's all weight related and the same. Let's go back down to pit lane. John Bizignano.
Doug Dimas, crew chief for the man that's out front, car number 55. And you're not in radio communication, but you've been working all week long to get this car out front. What did you do?
It's just a series of handling, tires, and the car's running well.
Now, were you a little bit happy when you saw your biggest competition go out?
I believe it.
So now the strategy, stay out front, just run as fast as you can, or does he want to kind of play a little bit?
No, he wants to just stay consistent, stay out front.
Well, right now he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do, but an awful lot of competition from the number 9 car.
Oh, Biz, Wilson Wright is absolutely glued to Mumford's tail here as they work through turn 1. And Mumford looks like he's got a little bit more in reserve, doesn't he? He's not using the whole track.
Mumford seems to be pretty quick down the straight, doesn't he? There's no doubt about it. That Wilson Wright seems to be in the 9 car there, the orange 9 car, is really doing a good job through the twisty bits of track. He hangs on well through the keyhole, but when they come to the end of this long straight, I think Mumford's going to be too far in front.
You know what? There's another very savvy driver behind them, Richard Grant, in that number 13 or 10 Nissan. He'll be a factor, and we'll be back. That was Oak Hill Cottage in some of the grounds. Absolutely beautiful location here. Just part and parcel of the history and heritage here in Richland County. We're back to racing at the fastest probably location in the county right now, Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This is GT4 Mumford. He has not had 1 minute's rest once again as that very fleet orange machine of Wilson Wright Jr. Stockbridge, Massachusetts. He was 4th in the Northeastern Division this year. A couple of wins in that Village Auto Works machine, and he's been rather relentless at this stage.
See, he is all over him like a cheap suit. From the end of that straight, he picks up big time on braking. He's right on his back bumper.
Literally.
As they go through, literally. And every time they get up to that keyhole, and Mumford certainly seems to have got just a little bit more power.
Is that one of those situations we saw in a race earlier where the car that was not quite as strong on motor but better on handling, once he got in front, was able to draw away rather comfortably?
Well, of course, that could happen here.
These are actually two of the same type of car, so they should have equal horsepower. Of course, these are full race motors, so you can definitely tell Mumford the 55 car with a lot more horsepower.
Yeah, there's nothing sealed in these engines. You have to build them to a certain displacement, and they control a little bit. If you're running a certain engine, you can't run this type of carb or whatever. But what it comes down to is, they've got their own engine builders, and you got some speed. Oh, there's number 24. Remember we saw him? He got real sideways in the chicane earlier in this one. That's Tom Blaney out of Warren, New York, the champion in the Northeastern Division, the Small Business Management Systems Tercel, and he is pulling. Oh, look at that. He's got no door. Now we're on board with our car. That is Mr. Tenney, and he is working some traffic here. He's running at 16th, trying to move up a little bit, heading into turn 1 underneath the bridge. Fastest corner on the track.
Well, he truly did have his doors blown off, didn't he?
I don't know what the...
we saw that door come up when he got sideways in the chicane. Tom.
Oh, locks up, gets on the curb. That was close to a big run.
Joe Tenney there was being attempted to be passed there. Someone being a bit too clever for his own good. The 42 car in front of Joe now. That's Jim Nealon out of Campbell, California. Another guy that's come a long way, and also in another Nissan Sentra.
There's the car that tried to get around Joe, and that's number 40, Dave Dobry, in an old Corolla. And look at this. He got a run on him, but he got in there a little bit too hot. Right here, Dave, watch.
Boy, he's been a bit optimistic trying to come from that far back, I thought.
There's a flat spot on that tire, perhaps. Now, oh, and there goes Tenney. Gets around 42 Neal and picks up, I think he's now 15th.
Oh, he's working his way up with our camera, which we like.
Good view out the back. Oh, Dobry, see that white car in the back? Got loose again. Boy, Dobry is right on the limit. We got one of the VWs that's working behind them, too. I think that's 38, Bruce Wright in the German Village Auto House. VW Rabbit.
Auto House, yeah.
There's your GT4 current standings. Mumford, Wright, TB in that Datsun. Oh, he started 10th. That's what's in those parentheses. That's a great drive. And again, Tenney has moved up into the top 15. Let's go back to the front. There it is. Nothing has changed. It's Mumford and Wilson Wright in that orange number 9.
Now look at this.
Ooh, the big slide.
Look how close they are as they come out of that keyhole, and then, boy, oh boy, Mumford just pulls away here. But, yes, it's just too far for... There's never a way Wright's going to pick up that much ground on braking.
Right, and look at the gap that he pulled out. Mumford over Wright, and Wright's going to need to make it up in handling. Let's go down to the pit lane and find out more about that with Bobby Gerald.
Sue Rogers is a partner of Wilson Wright Jr., and they're campaigning this new car, only the 6th event for this, and you guys have a chance to win this thing.
Well, we're going to give it a try, but we have many great competitors out there, so it's a long race, and until the checker falls.
Coming into it, what would you have been happy with?
Well, we were hoping for top 5. You have to have a goal, and that's what we were hoping to do. But he loves to race, and he likes to put on a good show for the fans, and hopefully that's what he's doing. I can't get to see much from here, though.
Yeah, in the top 5 was the goal, but right now I think you throw all that out the window because it looks like he's racing for a win. And actually taking a big charge on him right now coming to the flag stand.
Oh, that's a great battle. We are now looking at a huge battle for 3rd. Number 10, that's number 88 I mentioned, John Teeby in that black and white Datsun. And right behind him is a very quick John Olson in the Rebello Nissan 200SX. There they go, Teeby. And there is number 13, John Olson. And that battle pretty much mirroring what we're seeing at the front, just for a different position.
Yep, two-car runs going on there, and both of them equally competitive. Any mess up in the front there, and this is going to be a 4-car race real shortly.
And it's interesting, both those cars are powered by Rubello engines. One's just newer than the other one, but obviously that older Datsun, they've got that car dialed.
That's always been a good car. Like I said, it's very boxy. It's not very aerodynamic, but the chassis is a really good chassis in there.
88, look at him. He's come from 10th. John Teeby, what a great drive he has put on. Let's go down to the pits and John Bizignano.
Well, the man who set up the car is Dennis Henriken. Dennis, the 88 car, my gosh, I mean, you qualified 10th, and now you're just running right up front. What changes did you make to get the extra speed out?
Really didn't make any changes. We qualified 2nd and got disqualified. So we took our earlier qualifying time and had to rebuild our engine yesterday. And
because of the DQ?
No, we blew up our engine in Thursday qualifying.
A lot of trouble down here, but it must be all well worth it now.
Oh yeah, we're real happy.
They're happy, and they want to stay that way, but of course in this very, very competitive class, Dorothy Schrader, you know things change quickly.
Yeah, they do indeed. That sounds like a long week for those guys at DQ.
Doesn't it? You had DQ and an engine rebuild and all those other glory things that make racing just so groovy and glamorous.
And it's nice to be. David Hobbs watched Austin Powers last night. Apparently, it's rubbed off on him big. Yeah, baby, yeah.
These guys are both sets, the first 2 and then the second 2 here, having an absolutely terrific race. But Mumford seems to have got the leading edge on that main straightaway.
And in the pits, number 17, problems for Jim Mullen. But up front, Mumford, Wright, and Teeby looking good.
And find out how you can get your very own Quintel cellular phone for free. There's no deposit, no credit check, no turndowns, no activation fee. Just one great phone, absolutely free. Call now.
Call 1-800-311-1469.
Back at Mid-Ohio GT4, and it has been a war. We have 3 great battles going on. The lead battle, the battle for 3rd, the battle for 5th, and here is that lead battle, 55. That is Peter Mumford. Great start, and he has led it away, but it has never been easy, as Wilson Wright in the orange number 9 has been all over him. Let's take a look at our Dodge race reset, and it is Mumford, the leader, as I said. 10 laps, haven't been easy ones. He's the only leader, no lead changes because he grabbed it at the start. 3 cars are out of it, but as I said, none of these laps I don't think has been particularly comfortable for your leader.
Something wrong with that tree too. It's gone funny color.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it?
Now then, Dorsey.
Wilson Wright needs to do something.
What is this guy going to do? What's
I would say that since he knows he can't get by on the straightaway, he's going to have to loosen the 55 car up just a bit in the corner.
You're saying just take a little air off that?
There we go. Now apply the chrome horn up there.
He's going to stiffen the rear bar on the lead car.
Yeah.
or bend it.
Yeah.
All right, that battle is a great one. Biz?
Well, I was talking to the crew chief of Peter Mumford, and he says if the car looks loose, that's just his man's driving style. He grew up on dirt tracks, and he feels more comfortable with the car sliding around. The car is very predictable at this time, so don't worry about it, guys. He's having fun out there, and that's the fastest way he can go.
We aren't worrying at all. What we're hoping is that old Christabel Carlisle, number 9 there, is going to make it even more looser.
Yeah, loosen him up just a little bit more.
Loosen him up,
we got that was our second place battle.
Teeby?
That's for third place. And he's going to spin around there.
Spin around again. Now he's going to come on the track, crash somebody else. No, not yet. He is.
That was the battle for 3rd there. Both of them in the 27 car. He's up into the tire fence. That's Juan Montalvo Sr.
You remember him? He was the guy that jumped the start.
But he wasn't in the battle. Where did he come from?
Well, I think they were lapping him.
Oh, they were lapping him, and they got together right there. Look at the door all stove in. Right off the racetrack they go, all hooked in unison. Now they're going to meet the tire wall.
So that ruins that race.
Teeby did a nice job of not getting into the tires over there.
Teeby
that's out. Yeah, there's Montalvo. He's still trying to get that car moved. But look at Teeby. The front end's just caved.
Stove in.
Oh, that ruins his day. And there goes of course, a fiberglass fender, which is about to flap off there.
Spread itself all across the track. Break an oil line.
There goes part of it.
There goes part of it into the crowd.
You're a real glasses half empty kind of guy, aren't you?
Yeah, so they're going to put oil over the track. They're going to be the caution flag all the way around. They're going to put the pace car out, and then the whole thing's going to slow down.
On the other hand, this could all continue on here. And if I look at it, he's still trying to motivate, get back in the pit lane.
Motivate, man.
He's still, I don't think he hurt the handling at all on that thing.
Well,
he moved offline there. Here's the battle again up front, and the song remains the same. The 9 car, a lot better handling. Wilson Wright really doing a good job in the corners, but he cannot touch Mumford's straightaway speed. That's why I say he's going to have to just wiggle him a little bit here.
Even on that short run up from the turn 1 up to the chicane, he just really pulls away.
Look at the right side here, Montalvo Jr. Senior's car. And there's a huge wrinkle. 88 TV going to swing down into the pit lane, see if there's anything salvageable here. There he's getting the signal from the pit controller saying slow her down just a little bit, bring it in. Here he comes down into pit lane. Biz is there.
Well, we are here. First of all, we had the car number 13 come in, which just came in, which just about wiped us all out. Now car number 88, who is running up front. This is that Datsun 510. Of course, it has such a great history in this type of racing. But I'll tell you guys, they're looking hard all over the car. The suspension seems okay. They're pulling on every one of the corners, but the whole front end is very much damaged. Of course, that affects the aerodynamics. But the good thing is I see no fluids leaking whatsoever. But I got to say, either he runs a quarter of an inch off the ground, or there's something hanging down from the oil pan. So they've got real problems. What a bad situation for a very fast driver and a car with just a fantastic history.
Oh, history, and it was absolutely cooking. They had that car dialed, and he was giving a great ride. But here's what happened. There's Montalvo, and he just turned across on him. TV nowhere to go. Boom. Look at number 13 getting in the mix there. That's John Olson. He avoids it, but boy, that's a tough hit, and TV had a strong run going. Let's go back. We're going to take a look at what's happening at the front of the pack. There we go. And traffic, and they're coming up on that 27 with Montalvo. He lets the leader Mumford slide through and stays well wide. There comes Olson. Now, so
big lead now too.
Now something's split those two guys up, and obviously it wasn't Montalvo then, because when they got there, so maybe they passed some other traffic before they got to him. But now, of course, Wright is really got his work. Yeah, incredible the way he goes on those few corners. But boy, he's got his work cut out to close up. Whoa, that car now, Mumford really grass tracking it round there, wasn't it? Or dirt tracking it, sliding like mad at the back. Perhaps his rear tire's going to go off.
It's a lot easier to drive the straightaways, you know.
All right, let's go down to Bobby Gerald.
I would like the straight pitch.
We're here with Sue Rogers once again, Greg, and you're starting to believe that maybe he can do it. Looked like he fell back a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't tell me much, and I can't assume what's going on, but we want to be safe rather than sorry.
You're starting to rethink that top 5 goal, though?
I'm sorry?
Are you rethinking that goal of just being in the top 5?
No, we're going to stick with that. You know, we want to be realistic. We don't want disappointments, and anything can happen, so...
This is true. She sounds like a veteran of auto racing.
Oh, yeah. She's seen it, obviously. Look at number 9 now. Boy, in the backside, he really is coming on strong behind Mumford. And Biz talked earlier about the fact that they said that's Mumford's driving style. He's loose. But that could take its toll on tires. Just like that. Big sideways. That's got to be overheating those tires.
Take him out.
Yeah, just a little bit. It won't take much, I'll tell you that. It won't take much at all, but unfortunately...
So the stewards can see, just a little nudge.
Just a little nudge.
Just a little nudge, because he's so loose, it wouldn't take much.
Mumford down that front straight.
Boy, how quick he gets that turn 1. I mean, I can't believe.
But there he goes. Good set. Actually, that was pretty settled this time. Yeah, TV's back out. Good to see that. We have completed 14 of 19 laps here in GT4.
Now, the ultimate and extreme crash act.
Trying to move up another notch in that top 10. Mark Ward having a good run. Let's go back to a replay. We had some action that occurred just moments ago here. Here we go. Here goes Tenney, and he's thinking about going down the inside.
There he is. He's going in 6 down here in the brake zones. Got turned in. There's not a lot of room. They're going to get together. Boom. Hits the 78 twice. Little rabbit front wheel drive. Saves it. Good save there.
Different angle here, and just save it with power in the front drive car.
Yeah, rear drive car would have been around there. Front wheel drive car, you just get on the throttle real hard, but the wheels are pointing straight, pulls you right back straight. Good job on both guys' parts to save that.
So Tenney is settled back in behind Ward, and is going to just have to renew his attack. And does that kind of motivate you a little bit? When you get that close, you bang a little bit, and you slide back behind, and you go, well, I know I can get close. I just got to get in a little deeper.
Well, it wakes you up, that's for sure. No question about that after having one of those moments.
Also makes you mad.
Yeah, and that usually does some good to you, too.
That does a lot of good.
The red mist is a good thing.
When you get mad and irrational, it's the best thing that can ever happen to a race.
That's what we want.
That's what we want. Whoa, there, the big slide there. Is that our leader?
I think it might be our leader coming up on on...
Joe Chen?
No, that's not. That's the number 13, if you recall. John Olson, who was running in the top 5, had a long pit stop. He's very quick, and he's back out now just trying to get some racing time in, and he gets around Tenney. Probably a smart move by Tenney to know he's down a lap or more. Let him go.
Yeah, there's no need to race with him. Now, what you don't know, though, is whether or not Tenney has a radio contact, and if he knows that the car is...
he's left down.
That's very true.
Especially in a sprint race, these are only half-hour races or so. You can get mixed up in the emotion of the whole thing.
Oh, you can get very mixed up.
And behind Tenney, you see number 42, Jim Nealon. He's been duking it out right there. They've been... Oh, and Nealon's... Oh, did he... Nice move by Nealon.
Boy, look at him. He's rocked it right by her.
Boy, he did, didn't he?
Ah, how rude.
Well, they get Tenney offline a little bit. Tenney had to get out of it maybe, huh? Here comes number 13, Olson, coming up to lap Ward. Let's check in with John Bizignano.
Well, John Olson was in the pits, and this is the reason why. You might say this is about a $40,000 spark plug, and the top is broken off of it. They put about $40,000 into the whole season trying to become a national champion. The broken spark plug took them out. They were in the pits for over a lap. You can see the car is very fast, but this cost them, guys, a $2 bit piece.
Oh, you hate to see that happen, and that's so often the story. Preparation, and something that you never would think would be a problem.
John Bizignano again, of course, living in some day of yore. $2 for spark plug. About $10 each now. They're all made of gold and platinum and everything. Whoa!
That's Olson again, and he's trying to get around Mark Ward at this stage, putting some pressure on.
Now see, Ward just gave him the point boy. Just pointed out the side windows and passed me on the right going down the straightaway.
He just pointed out the window and said, don't even think about passing.
16 laps, I'm sorry guys, 17 laps now, 19 in the books, and there's your battle at the front. Mumford, 55, the dark red car, and Wilson Wright, the bright orange, number 9, and these two continue to scrap it. Oh, Wilson got out of that turn.
And he's closer than he's been for a long time now. If he can get, well, because he still keeps coming out that keyhole right behind him. He just can't do anything about it on that.
He's going to have to loosen him up here in the keyhole. Just a little tap right about there would do it.
He's going to have to get desperate.
Well, he will in wide or out. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, but it won't make a bit of difference because watch the 55 now. He puts the pedal to the metal and he's going to just absolutely drag race away from this. That's not happening, is it? Yeah.
Well, but right now,
here he comes. He's got to run.
There.
He's got to run. He uses the draft.
A great piece of driving by Wilson Wright.
Now that's what he needed to do because now he's got to use his corner speed and really open up a margin before the 55. Oh, side by side through 6, and it's going to go up into into madness. I can't believe it.
Oh, Mumford, huge. Oh, he's on the curb. He's sideways. He saves it, but he loses the position, and all that pressure, David, paid off.
Wow.
Well, Sue Rogers
I
is going
couldn't
to have
believe
a
how quick
smile.
Mumford was to turn 6 and 7 there. Every time Wright's been quicker than that one time that mattered. He still stayed in front, but he was obviously overdriving. Got to the top of the hill, and as you saw there, had a major tank slapper coming down the hill. And
watch right now. He's got to open this distance. This is where he's very strong right here.
Wow, an 85, our camera car down in the pit. Something wrong.
Looks like he's hit something, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. He's sitting there right now. He's still in the car, so they're hopeful to maybe be able to get him out. Let's go down to Biz.
Well, they're looking at all the corners on the car. He has hit something. He's not comfortable with the handling. They checked out the tires. They thought one was going down. He's going back on the track, guys.
That's tough. I mean, he had worked his way up from 17th well into the top 10, and that has all gone away. We're on the white flag, final lap. And look at Wilson Wright. He is pedaling as fast as he can to open that margin up. He's got a pretty handy margin here right now. Let's go back and look at the pass, and it took forever to get it done.
This was the second pass, actually. The pass was already made. Here's Mumford coming back. This is in turn 6, coming through there. He muscles his way back. He's going to go up here into madness. He's going to get loose. When he does, it's a good save because he could have been sent right off to the outside. You'll see the car, too much speed right here. It's going off the outside. He's got some oversteer, wiggles. He's got 2 wheels in the grass right there, and a lucky fellow he didn't go up.
Boy, very lucky, yeah, because he had a huge, tank
that smile. Sue Rogers.
Look, right up with Mumford. I mean, right up with Wright. Whoa! That car of his just lost all his grip at the rear end.
I was going to say, I have those rear tires he's been working awfully hard. Are they just giving up?
Boy, they are now. You can see it sliding everywhere. And he made the pass. You know, Mr. Wright made the pass without administering the chrome orange. So good for him.
And Sue, as you pointed out, Dusty, she has got to be absolutely...
In spite of Dorsey's
administrations otherw's.
He did it cleanly, see?
The Dorsey Schrader School of Advanced Driving.
Yeah, but I don't have the patience for it. Get him out of the way.
There's Mumford now running in 2nd spot. And there's his crew, I think. They're watching, hoping. This is the last lap, keep in mind now. So here we go. Mumford going to try everything he possibly can, but that margin just too much. That looks like the better part of almost 2 seconds now. And here we go. Wilson Wright out of that last turn under the front straight, the double checkers. And Wilson Wright, they wanted a top 5. They got top 1. And look at Sue. She is absolutely ecstatic and understandably. And Wilson Wright drove, I think, a simply brilliant race.
He drove a great, absolutely great race, yeah.
Kept the pressure on the whole time. He didn't lay back and rest, that's for sure. He ran every corner. They congratulate each other, the two drivers right there. That they had a good day today.
Well, he forced, he really did force Mumford to run off his tires. That was smart stuff. Let's go down to Bobby with Sue.
Well, Sue, so much for a top 5. Wilson's the man.
Well, he is the man, as they say in the big leagues, but I'm very happy for him. He deserves it. He's worked hard. They all deserve it, but I know there only has to be one winner, so I'm happy he had a great race, and can't wait to talk to him and see the tape.
We can't wait to talk to him, too, and we're going to do that in just a couple of minutes right on the other side of a break coming. Greg?
All right. Do we go for the obvious pun here, guys? Wilson truly is Mr. Wright.
Oh, my gosh.
Had to do it. Everybody was...
Well, say hi to Sue Rogers for me down there because she's an old friend of mine from Skip Barber days.
All right. And there's Wilson, very happy. And what a drive he put on. Just a very savvy drive. Never lost his patience or his cool. And it paid off with a national championship in GT4. They're the unofficial top 5.
And that gives Wright the opportunity to sneak right along. Good save right there, but that was the terminal pass of the race there.
That was a good save, though, no doubt about it. I mean, that could have easily been disaster, and Wright, of course, could have easily just lifted out when he saw him swerving around right in front of him like that.
Trying to get Sue into that car, and believe me, the passenger side, as it were, of these cars, loaded with reservoirs for all kinds of stuff and anti-sway bar controls and the like. That's a tough squeeze.
Sue's going to take the NASCAR ride-along programs back.
Let's go back down to John Bizignano. John?
Well, Peter Mumford has arrived in the pit lane. You've run down the seat belts, but Peter, what's on your mind? You led every lap but the one you wanted to.
Yeah, I tell you, this car was running great. It was handling really well. We had, near the end, we picked up a little bit of got a little loose, and I lost it going down Madness. Got real sideways. Wilson ran an excellent race. He had the opportunity to pass me, and that's where he got me.
Now the fellows in the booth, tell us about that pass. They said it was one of the most dramatic moments of the weekend. Tell us about it.
Well, I was way out on the apron, outside apron, pretty much locked sideways, and he had a great place to go. I would have done the same thing he did, you know, but you know, we can get him next time, maybe.
The car seemed a little bit loose from about the 4th or 5th lap. Is that the way you like it, or was it something that came in afterwards?
I like a loose car. It got a little bit too loose. I almost think I have a tire going down near the end, but the Goodyears work really well for me when the car's a little loose, and the Neely chassis, the Robello motor ran real well, and you know, we're a one-engine team. You know, we don't have multiple engines. We ran the same engine here all week. We ran 2 sets of tires all week, where most guys are putting in 8 or 10, so just goes to show that even the guy without the big bucks can do pretty well here.
I think the guy without the big bucks will be back hard in 1999. Guys, they're going to start next season right now. Bobby Gerald.
Biz, we have a driver here who started 7th and moved up 4 spots to finish 3rd. Nice job, Mark.
Thank you very much. It sure was a lot of fun out there, I tell you. We lost 3rd gear about 3 laps from the end, and we were just hanging on for dear life.
You've come all the way from Arizona out here to the runoffs. Does this make it all worthwhile?
Oh, yeah. Podium finish always makes it worthwhile. It's tough crowd out here. We just love to be able to finish. You got to finish to be able to make any kind of decent place out here, I'll tell you.
Congratulations to you once again. Mark Brandon, 3rd place finisher here today at the runoffs.
Did an absolutely great job. There's your champion as he is on his lap of honor. We had 1 lead change between the 2 drivers. The race took 31 minutes. The margin of victory in 2 laps went to 1.6 seconds. Wilson was hooked up. We'll be back.
Not bankruptcy. Call for a free consultation. Stop the stress. Let us help. 1-888-CALL-DFA.
For the latest news in the automotive industry, watch the only program with spy cameras, The Car Board. the Places and Races calendar, competition news, and the World News Update.
Auto Week, every Monday night at 7 and 11 Eastern.
So, does this thing come with a guarantee?
Yeah. I guarantee that if you watch Fox Sports News, this set will give you years of enjoyment. Why? Fact. Fox Sports Net televises 1,745 Major League Baseball games a year. ESPN, about 98. So, where are you going to turn to for the inside dope on baseball?
No. I mean, like a warranty or something?
I have no idea. Ooh, hey.
News directly from the source, because we are the source.
Back at Mid-Ohio, there's the onboard camera we had of Joe Tenney, and look at the action that he had. That's the VW of Mark Ward. They were running like that all race long. On the other hand, number 9, Wilson Wright, he had tons of opportunities to make the pass by rubbing a little bit. He elected not to, and he won it clean. Let's go down to pit lane. John Bizignano.
Joe Tenney, you have as much rubber around your car as you do underneath it. A very active race for you.
Yeah, somehow a metal transmission causes rubber marks on the side of my car when you miss a shift at the end of the straight. Mark Ward and I got into it a little bit. We'd moved up to about 9th and got kind of hung up behind Mark for a while. And after that, I just felt all kinds of gremlins or heard noises and so forth for about a lap or two, and we pulled in. Everything was okay. They just told me to get going, and away we went. And I don't know what we finished up, but those guys must have driven one heck of a race behind me.
It was a fantastic race. Congratulations on at least making it through that field and all that dangerous situation down there. Bobby Gerald with the winner.
Hey, this is maybe the happiest crew that we've seen down here in Victory Lane so far today, and I think it's because you set a goal of finishing in the top 5 and just blew that goal right out of the water.
I couldn't believe it. I was amazed. I really am. I honestly thought there'd be problems at the start, and there wasn't, and I was just, thank God, I couldn't believe it. And then we just got rolling with Peter. Steve had a problem over in the left-hander after Thunder Valley. He got a little squirrely, he got sideways. Thank God I didn't touch him. And he just kept right on going off, and I just kept cruising. Me and Peter just kept rolling right along.
You did it so cleanly, too. I mean, you had probably a couple of opportunities to loosen him up a little bit, but you waited and made a very clean path.
Yes, I only bumped him just a tiny bit over in the keyhole, just once. You know, just let him know I was there. But other than that, no, I wanted to get real close, let him get squirrely if he could, and thank God he did. And I was getting a little squirrely too, but just not quite as much.
We were hanging out with your partner, Sue, and she said that you've been waiting a long time for people to walk up to you and call you the man.
Yeah, isn't that something? It was great, I'll tell you. This is unbelievable. I mean, the first year in the car, 6th event this year, total. In the car, I couldn't believe it.
Big celebration tonight, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you, this Robinson Racing Village Auto Works car is just unbelievable. I have to thank Goodyear and Nissan and Valvoline. And
congratulations to you once again. Gold medal winner, Wilson Wright Jr.
Boy, if only he would learn to really show his emotions when he enjoys a moment like that.
Yes, I hate a man that doesn't enjoy a win.
No, not at all. Let's take a look at our full field as we're going to bring it up for GT4. There's Wright that wins it. We have 24 to show you. Mumford second. Brandon, a great ride to third. Richard Grant, well, he was there, just couldn't move up enough. And fourth, Montalvo, that was junior, number 28. Then it's Mills, Bell, Rusty Bell, one of the track announcers here. This is the only time he gets behind the wheel of the car all week, and the rest of the time he's up in one of the towers talking. There's Joe Tenney. After being in the top 10, that moment dropped him to 13th, but still, when you consider where he started, nice run. John Teavee, he really deserved better than being back there in about 16th spot. Here's the rest of the field as we show it to you. And David Hobbs, I'll tell you, we've seen maybe more exciting drives, we've seen maybe more fraught drives, but I don't know that we've seen any smarter drive than we did out of Wilson.
That was a very, very smart drive, and unfortunately for him, he was being encouraged the whole time by Dorsey Schrader, who, of course, comes from a different sort of background altogether and was wanting him to push that poor other guy off the road. He didn't. He resisted the temptation, and he still won the race in magnificent style.
And look at Sue. She was absolutely ecstatic when they came across the line. We'll see if we can work in a rebuttal from Dorsey Schrader after we come back from the break. But there is a very happy Wilson Wright and Sue Rogers, and they're celebrating in victory circle.
$250? It's only a little scratch.
Here is scratch.